Hello and welcome to Newsroom. I'm Sharmeen Ali. Prime Minister Imran Khan, a week ahead of the opening of the Kartarpur corridor on November 9th, has announced that he's going to waive certain requirements for the Sikh pilgrims who will be coming from India. One of these requirements is that they will no longer be required to have a passport with them. They will only be required to have an ID card. Also, he has said that the pilgrims will no longer have to register 10 days in advance, and he has also waived the fee for the pilgrims on the opening day of the Kartarpur corridor, which is on 9th November, in time to celebrate the 550th birth anniversary of Baba Guru Nanak this month in a couple of days. So also the president of the World Bank, Mr. David Malpass, has arrived. He's been in Islamabad and in Pakistan over the last 2 days, visiting areas in Pakistan, and he has commended the government of Pakistan for taking effective measures that has brought Pakistan up on the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index to number 108. Pakistan has gone up 28 points and has been the top reformer country in all of Asia. So he commended Pakistani authorities in achieving that, and also he said that the reforms undertaken by Pakistan is going to help create jobs, and it will also attract more investment. We're going to be talking about that in our program today as well. Also, we're going to be speaking about the biggest tragedy in Pakistan Railways history, which took place yesterday, where a railway engine on the Tezgam Express, the train caught fire, and approximately 74 people have lost their lives and 40 more people are injured. The cause of the fire is said by the government authorities to have been gas cylinders which were on board the train, and the actual cause will be determined finally after an inquiry. So we will be speaking about all of this on our program today. So I'd like to introduce our guests that we have with us in our studios. We have with us Mr. Imtiaz Varaich, who is a senior analyst. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us today. Let's begin with the Kartarpur corridor. Now, Prime Minister Imran Khan is making it easier for the pilgrims to come and visit the Kartarpur temple, and this is indeed a very joyous and happy time for the Sikh community of India, of Pakistan as well. They'll be uniting and meeting in this wonderful place, and also for the Sikh community of the entire world, right?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much for inviting us for these couple of topics. This is a very good gesture, I must say that, for India, especially for Sikhs. Pakistan has, expressed and, took initiative by the Prime Minister of Pakistan, even at a time when he was taking oath of the office of the Prime Minister of Pakistan. And Army Chief also, he was also on the same page. And although the Modi administration, they were not much willing to facilitate Sikh community, but at the same time, but Pakistan took initiative, and now we are in a stage which is being now materialized now, and the date has been announced to inaugurate this and to start this type of to facilitate the pilgrims of India from Sikh community. You see that Sikh community, they are already facing a lot of problems in India, but from Pakistan, you see that they are East Punjab, and we have same language, and we have also similarity of little culture as well.
Right. So the Sikh community in Pakistan is approximately 20 to 30,000 in number, and India's Sikh population is 24 million. That's a huge number of Sikhs in India, and the remaining, there's about 27 million Sikhs across the world. Most of them are in India, the majority are in India and in the state of Punjab, and then they're also in Haryana, which is the second largest province there with the Sikh community, and these regions border with Pakistan, so it makes it very easy and conducive for them to come to the Kartarpur temple. And also the rest of the pilgrims who are in Canada and the United States, Australia, they're all over the world, the Sikh community, but this is the majority which is in India.
You see that actually Pakistan is very sacred place for Sikhs, because we have Nankana Sahib here, we have Panja Sahib, that is in Hassan Abdal, and the third is this corridor. And you see, they were so, their sentiments were so that they were just to see through, different ways, standing behind the, border of and living and staying in India. But no, they will be able to come in Pakistan. They have been facilitated. They have been also given relaxation on the first day, no charging of fees, and similarly they will have no need to carry passport, and they have just come with their ID cards, and certainly there will be a lot of activities in that area now, and because of that you see that the interaction between Pakistani people and Sikh community, that will increase, which is already you see that we feel friendly to each other, and whenever Sikh people they come for Nankana Sahib or Panja Sharif, they are also you see that very warmly welcomed, and they are facilitator, and whenever they go back they carry you see very pleasant experience. So this Kartarpur corridor is game changing, I must say, for Sikh community as well, at least for Sikh community. But at the same time, yes, Modi accepted this you see suggestion, and then it happened now practically. But he was not much you see supportive of this idea, because you see that Modi is equally, as he is not friendly with the Muslim minority there, as well as he is also not friendly with the Sikh minority.
But the reason the Modi government agreed to pursue this Kartarpur corridor, even though they don't wish to engage Pakistan much, but they agreed to have talks on Kartarpur corridor and to continue with its progress, and now it's the opening. Is it because they can't afford to
actually
upset
the initiative,
the Sikh community?
Yes, initiative was so much, and you see there a lot of Sikhs there, and you see millions there, they are living there in East Punjab. So he could not, you see, confront them actually, and he was compelled to cooperate on this, you see, special shrine visit of Sikhs in Pakistan.
Right. Okay. So now this is going to be a 6-kilometer corridor. It's going to be connecting the Darbar Sahib Kartarpur with the Darbar Baba Nanak Sahib in India. So these are the two temples it's going to be connecting through this corridor, which is 6 kilometers long. So it's a huge time in history for the Sikh community, because they've wanted this for a very long time. This is one of the holiest, it's one of the holiest temples and one of the holiest sites, most sacred sites for the Sikh community in the entire world. And this is where the Sikh community believes that Baba Guru Nanak spent the last days before they believe he vanished. We would say that's where he passed away, but they say that he vanished over there. So it's a very important site. This is the last place where he was.
Yes, because, and especially in these circumstances when they were coming for, you see, Nankana Sahib and Shrine of Panja Sahib in Hassan Abdal, but they were not, you see, allowed by India and even in Pakistan to visit that Kartarpur corridor site, because they were limited to and confined to visit certain places only.
Exactly.
So now they will have access, and you see there is no need of visa and there is no need of passport. So because of that they can come freely, and I guess that thousands of Sikhs they will come on daily basis, and they have make arrangement of that. Around, I guess, 5,000 people they will come per day.
Right.
So this is I must say that as Eid like Pakistan Muslims, this is Eid for Sikhs. And
it's like Eid, and it's sort of like a Makkah or Medina for
yes,
the Sikhs.
and
to be able to go there, they used to stand at Dera Baba Nanak Sahib in India, and they used to look at this Kartarpur Darbar through binoculars before they could visit here. So for them, it's a very emotional time to be able to come and actually be there in person.
And other factor as well, because you see that when the whole world will see this, that the efforts of Pakistan to facilitate the people of India, Sikhs are their citizens of India. So Pakistan has facilitated them and helping them out to come to visit their shrine comfortably and in friendly environment. So certainly this will also, you see, uplift the image of Pakistan in the world community as well, because the Sikhs are living in the whole world, you see, in Canada, in America, in UK. So they are very happy, and they are mentioning this with the, you see, pride, that Pakistan is helping them to.
And you could see the emotion of the Sikh community when they come here for Baisakhi. When they were here last, they were requesting the President, Dr. Arif Alvi, that would you be willing to extend Kartarpur corridor to Nankana Sahib as well, so that we can go to both the sites in one visit. And he said we'll have to work on that. So, sir, do you think there's a chance that that might be extended towards Nankana Sahib as well?
Yeah, yes, you see that in Nankana Sahib, I guess that there already, you see, if you have visited Nankana Sahib, that is a very good town, and that has been upgraded as district as well, you see. And Pakistan is facilitating a lot there. And I guess that there may be possibility that they will enhance the number of, you see, visitors there from Sikh community from India. And so it will have, you see, that a very interesting, you see, things is going to be happen, that from Pakistani point of view, from Indian point of view, and Indian other community as well, because you see that every Indian is not hostile to Pakistan. There are some people, there are some, you see, fundamentalists there, RSS like this type of people. But I must say that this will certainly give a good message to the other community in India, to Christians, to other Hindus who are loving to the peace. So I guess that this is very good.
Right, and so now there's going to be, the Prime Minister has inaugurated a university also in Nankana Sahib. So that will also attract a lot of definitely Sikh students over there, because it's going to be studying all of their Khalsa and all of that, or their teachings in the Sikh religion. So then there will be many more Sikhs wanting to come and study there from India. So there will have to be a lot of accommodation for that as well eventually.
Certainly, and you see what will happen when they will get education from there, from the religion point of view and from that university. They will certainly go to India, they will certainly go to the other parts of the world, and they will carry a message, you see there, and they will mention that they have qualified from that got education from that university, which is in Kartarpur. So this will have multiplying effect, and you will see that the consequence and the fruit of this, you see, effort. After 5-10 years, you will see that the whole world, this university will be known as a well-known university, and specifically for Sikhs education. So this is also admirable and appreciable.
So this move also shows that now Pakistan is making an effort to improve its relations with its minorities, communities, especially right now this is the aim towards the Sikh community. Now Prime Minister Imran Khan also invited Navjot Singh Sidhu, the cricketer, and who's a politician now, to come for the opening ceremony, and he accepted. He also came for Prime Minister Imran Khan's inauguration, and he also visited for the groundbreaking ceremony of Kartarpur. So when he went back to India, he had to face a literal storm of criticism over there for supporting Pakistan, etc. So this was a great gesture on his part to want to come again. But this attitude of Indians towards anybody, including a Sikh who has a religious interest in coming to Pakistan for this opening, to be, you know, like a mob mentality going after him for being pro-Pakistani. What are your comments about that?
Yes, this is very unfortunate that especially the present regime of Modi, you see how he was brought to the office of Prime Minister of Pakistan, India. He massacred Muslims in Gujarat, you see, and he was Chief Minister there. And because of that, he got dividend and he was elevated as Prime Minister of India. And there again, you see that we had he created hostility with Pakistan and also tried to attack in Pakistan. And because of that, you see that we arrested their pilot and then returned that pilot again. So the people of India, unfortunately, they gave more seats to him in the parliament. So he has a specific agenda. He is anti-minorities, not anti-Muslims. He is anti-Hindus, Hindu lower category, you see, Shudra and these type of. And he is anti-Christians, he is anti-Sikhs, and everybody, Buddhists, who else ever is living there as minority. He is not going to, you see, bear their presence there. So this is his agenda, and that's why he has also taken steps in Kashmir as well as. So this is very much visible, but I appreciate the efforts of present government, led by Mr. Imran Khan, and you see that what he did, he learned, he fought the case of, you see, peace and Kashmiris, and in general, you see, peaceful people of the world,
right.
While addressing to the National General Assembly of United Nations.
Right.
And even then, you see that whenever the whole time he stayed there in US, he continued to have attending some meetings and some type of, you see, addressing the people and fighting the case of for peace, not for only for Muslims, but also for everyone. So this is also one of the effort, and I believe that this effort, and Sidhu, I must appreciate his boldness that when he came first time and he just embraced with the chief, army chief,
and he was
criticized and he was given the, you see, that he is a traitor, he is a national traitor, and there was, you see, racist Hindus, they you see, conducted and held you see, demonstrations and processions against him. So again, he is coming back. So this indicates his conviction and commitment with the this friendship
It's
as well
definitely a
as
very, yeah.
his community.
It's a very extreme attitude of the regime there right now, and the
Yeah.
way that people's raw sentiments have been brought up in all of this, and it's all anti-Pakistan. We have online with us right now Mr. Ahmed Qureshi, who's an analyst and an anchor person. Thank you for joining us, Ahmed Qureshi Saab.
Thank you very much.
Can you elaborate a little bit about this, the provisions, the restrictions that Prime Minister Imran Khan has removed from the Kartarpur corridor, pilgrims, the requirements of having a passport with them, and also now they have to have an ID card, and also that they're not going to have to register 10 days in advance. This is a very emotional time for the Sikh community. So what do you think this will do for the sentiments of the Sikh community in India?
Yes, it's quite surprising, the move by the Pakistani Prime Minister, and I think it's a very courageous and a very bold move by any politician in Pakistan or India. I mean, over the past 72 years, no political leader, whether in Pakistan or in India, dared to go this far to facilitate the citizens of the other country. So this really goes to the credit of Prime Minister Imran Khan, and I think it took quite a courage and boldness on his part to really go thus far. And I'm sure you know, and most listeners know, how difficult this kind of a decision is in terms of the security situation between both countries, to decide to waive off the requirement of carrying a passport. I mean, this is a major thing. So this is a bold move, and I think the world should understand that this is simply one of many steps that Pakistan, over the past 70 years in the Pak-India conflict, Pakistan had taken many steps to really show open-heartedness and big-heartedness on the part of Pakistan. And I dare to say that as a student of the Pak-India conflict, I fail to find similar examples of goodwill gestures taken from the Indian side over the past 7 decades that would show magnanimity. So it's really interesting that Pakistan, which is 6 times smaller in size compared to India, is always willing to go the extra mile and take these kind of steps. So that's one thing. But on the other hand, we need to watch very carefully, and we need to put the onus on India to reciprocate, not just with regards to this project, but I'm sure you know that Pakistan and the Pakistani Prime Minister, when he's taking these steps, basically he's trying to create an environment where Pakistan and India can discuss other issues, and mainly Kashmir conflict, to resolve all these issues and create peace between Pakistan and India. So there's an objective behind what the Prime Minister has done, the Pakistani Prime Minister. And unfortunately, we are yet to see a reciprocity on the part of India. India should seize this opportunity. India is wasting many opportunities that Pakistan is providing India, and Pakistan is providing the region to achieve peace. And this is unfortunate. So while this is a great move, a very bold, a very courageous move on the part of Pakistani Prime Minister, it is unfortunate that the main purpose and the objective of this move, which should be reciprocity on the part of India in terms of moving forward with Pakistan, resolving other conflicts, and especially Kashmir, we're not seeing this happening from India. So the world really needs to, I'm sure the world is watching all of this, and the world is watching how Pakistan is starting from this year, especially Prime Minister Imran Khan has taken many bold, courageous steps, starting with the release of the captured Indian pilot and coming down to waiving the requirement to carry a passport for Indian citizens, despite all the security concerns. So a major thumbs up to Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan.
Right. So, Ahmed Qureshi, also I'd like to ask you, do you think now there's a 24 million Sikh community in India? So, what do you think is the potential for religious tourism in Pakistan? We've been talking about boosting the economy through tourism. This is a big start. And if we can open up other temples, for example, the Qatar Raj temples, there are 960 plus million Hindus in India. If you can just allow for religious tourism, there's a huge potential for the tourism industry there.
Yes, and the good news is the Pakistani government has already moved on, and there are a number of major Hindu temples across Pakistan that are being renovated, that were abandoned after independence in 1947, when many of the Hindu people or citizens here left for India. The Pakistani government has already begun to do this. I think it's a very wise decision. I think it's a great move to win over the hearts and minds of the Indian citizens who look, with reverence to these temples in Pakistan. So, at a time when the Indian government is trying to increase hate against Pakistan within the Indian media, and we see that, and in fact, the world has seen that early this year, after February, after the Balakot and Pulwama incidences, when even the world took notice of how far the Indian media has gone to promote hate. So it's a good thing that we're trying to win the hearts and minds of the Indian citizens. But I must tell you that this will be a very difficult decision, because on the one hand, Pakistan is taking all these good decisions to win the hearts and minds of the Indian citizens. But at the same time, the Indian government has really accelerated the attempts to increase the anti-Pakistan hate and the anti-Pakistan feelings in the Indian media. So it's really a
Right,
race
so we'll
between...
have to chip away at that a little bit at a time. Thank you so much, Ahmed Qureshi, for joining us on the program. So, Imtiaz Sab, now we've talked about Kartarpur. Now, I also want to now get into the World Bank President's visit that has just taken place in Pakistan. The World Bank President did say that Pakistan has made a lot of advancements in its ease of doing business, and he commended the government for doing that. He said this will help in creating jobs and increasing investment in the country. And he also said that the reforms that Pakistan has made is going to make it easier for people to start a business, to get electricity, to get construction permits, register property, pay taxes, and trade across borders. So let's discuss this now. So the World Bank President's visit over here, all these advancements that Pakistan has made in ease of doing business, 28 places in just the last 1 year. Previously, we had seen a slide of 50 places over the last couple of years due to, it was naturally security concerns as well, among other things. So what are your comments about these advancements that we've made and what the World Bank President has said?
Actually, we have to see it from two ways, I must say, that you see what is going down the line, what is going up the line. Yes, you see that Pakistan is growing and the economy is growing, and you see the stock market is also improving, and even these political unrest we are facing in Islamabad, and because even then we see that stock market is growing, and similarly you see that export has enhanced, and similarly import has been minimized or reduced. The indicators are there indicating that. But at the same time, you see that there are a lot of things to do by Pakistan, and there's need of practical, results of that. Because if we have to generate employment, we have to help out and support to entrepreneurs, and they should be facilitated. At this moment, what is happening, you see, there are several departments which are after the industrialists. When someone comes for industrial activity or commercial activity, there are 7, 8, 10 departments which are after those, and they are very hostile. They are if they are not going to have a relationship with those departments, other way, they are being issued notices, and they are being inspected unduly, and being compelled to have other type of relationship with them.
Right.
Like some multinationals, because I am corporate lawyer as well, and I have seen that. Now, what we are facing now, we have Department EOBI, which is dealing with commercial and industrial activities. Then we have Social Security, we have Labor Department, we have Environment Department, and so on, Health Department, and local government departments.
So the processes are complicated.
They are very complicated. So there is need of one window operation.
Yeah,
I must say.
exactly.
Like you see the EOBI, what they are collecting contribution from the employers. What Social Security are doing, they are also doing the same. They are providing in lieu of that the medical services to the workers or employees. And similarly, the other departments like education cess. So they should have one window operation.
It should be definitely more streamlined. Now, so the thing is now to get to this place, Pakistan's been the top reformer in Asia and number 6 in the entire world. So a lot of work was done integrating government, federal and provincial departments together in order to make things more efficient. However, do you see a future for Pakistan where there, like you're just talking about, making it more streamlined, where there are less government processes involved and government is just there for an oversight and things are done pretty much electronically like you see everywhere else in the world? It's high tech. Government and starting businesses and doing businesses is very high tech. It's all done, it's all computerized. Do you see a future like that for Pakistan?
No, that has to be done. That has to be done because this is a requirement now. The world is changing, the requirements are changing, and people of Pakistan are also, they have different feeling now. They are more groomed, more educated new generation. They have, you see, most of the people, they are studied abroad and they are coming back and they are comparing Pakistanis, you see, functionaries and these type of things. So we have to do that. And I guess that the will is there. Mr. Imran Khan, he is very, his integrity is above doubts, and he is doing a lot. He has will, but there's need of some teaming, I must say.
Right.
Because there's, apparently, I'm sorry to say, that some of the ministers, they are visible and they are performing, but the rest of the ministers, they are they are absent from, you see, from the scene, and they are not doing that devotedly, and putting their focus towards their improvement of their.
How important, sir, to bring this about, how important is it that the right people who are experts in this particular arena should be placed there in order to make this happen?
My suggestion is that the period has gone when there was CSS exam, Center Superior Service exam, and people were inducted from there. If an economist is there, but he has become DMG group or PES group, or he has gone to commerce group, no need of specialized people, and this CSS cadre should be eliminated, and there should be cadres relevant to the profession, relevant profession. Like in health department, people should be taken from health. Doctors should be taken, pharmacists should be taken. Similarly, in commerce department, in commerce and trade group, there's need of, you see, commerce graduates, economists, and similarly in finance, they should take from
they should be
financial experts. So it is not you see, appropriate to put everywhere Pakistan Administrative Services officers or DMG officers, because they are not jack of all trades, because they are general administrators only. So in district level, what happens, you see? In district level, all these departments, like health department, like environment, as I have mentioned many departments, they are all reporting to deputy commissioner. Whereas they have their own hierarchy at divisional level and provincial level. But administratively, they are reporting to deputy commissioner, and deputy commissioner is general, you see, administrator. So this is the reason, you see, that we face increase of dengue this year, because the deputy commissioner is not a technocrat. They should be given, the technocrats, the experts of the relevant field, the officers in different department, they should be given liberty to perform according to their professional requirement and professional technologies.
Right.
So
sir, now I'm just going to interrupt you because we have online with us Dr. Waqar Ahmed, who's an economist. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you indeed for having me.
Right. Sir, thank you for joining us. Can you please give us your opinion about this the comments of the World Bank president on his visit to Pakistan, how he's commended the government on climbing up in the ease of doing business index and all the areas where Pakistan has improved. Now, their entire life cycles of businesses, but from starting the business as an entrepreneur to getting permits and electricity, etc., we've come a long way. What are your comments on that?
Yes, thank you very much. I think three things to be very specific, which the World Bank chief has pointed out. Well, you rightly said in your remarks, he has been full of praise for Pakistan's efforts on ease of doing business and the fact that Pakistan has improved several notches in terms of payments of taxes, payments of business-related fees, startup fees, as well as fees related to, of course, accessing business utilities. Of course, one of the areas where he did point out further work is required is to get ease of access in getting credit, basically. So he did point out that getting credit for the small and medium enterprises and startups and enterprise wishing to scale up still remains an issue which needs to be addressed. But it's not that this is not going on. He did point it out that government taking these initiatives. The other thing that he pointed out was government's very key initiative to boost e-commerce in Pakistan. And he believes that government will do well in expediting its work on a national payments gateway and to work more on the cyber security aspects of the national payments gateway. According to him, if this is sorted out and he's so at length, central bankers, if can move in this direction, this will greatly increase the prospects and potential of e-commerce in Pakistan. The final key message that he gave was that Pakistan still needs to do a lot in terms of improving its export competitiveness. And of course, given that we are a country which is forex constrained, we do require more and more export receipts. And therefore, he talked about how Pakistan can improve its transport and logistics chain so that exporters can benefit and Pakistan's export competitiveness, not just in the traditional sectors like textile, but also in the non-traditional sectors, particularly services trade, can also increase.
Right, and also one of the factors, the main things that he also commented about was the inclusion of women in all of this. He would like to see that improve. So what is being done right now at the government level to improve on women's inclusivity in the economic cycle of the country?
Yes, I think this is a very important question. So the government has now allowed very liberal credit, up to 2 million rupees, interest-free, for women in at least 7 cities of Pakistan. And of course, being the World Bank chief and having exposure from other countries, he pointed out that Pakistan will do well if the same facility can also be provided to women other than these 7 cities as well. And for this, he said that he will soon be directing the IFC, International Finance Corporation, so that IFC can work with the State Bank and see how more and more women borrowers can be facilitated. He also pointed out that the BIS program, the Benazir Income Support Program, which also in the past had World Bank funding and now, of course, continues on Pakistan's own resources, of course. He said that they'll be willing to help the BIS program as well to scale up lending to women borrowers for micro enterprise.
Right, and also he mentioned, he did mention the education sector. Now, this is a key area for Pakistan to focus on for the future, because we need to provide skills and education to the population, especially the youth that are going to be coming into the workforce. So what are your comments on that?
Yes, so on education, I think there were 2 or 3 very basic points which he raised, and I think as a country we need to think in that direction. One, of course, is that they would like to see minimum standards of elementary and primary education across the country. They do believe that 18th Amendment is an important step forward. However, some minimum standards need to be maintained. And therein, of course, the World Bank has come up with case studies how countries in a devolved system have done that. Second was that the World Bank wants Pakistan to have a large focus on TVET, technical and vocational education training. And they believe that a large population of this country which requires jobs could be skilled very quickly and could be provided very relevant jobs if there's big push investment by Pakistan and donors in the technical and vocational education space. And within this, I think your earlier question can also be dovetailed that a large part of TVET also has to be targeted to the women youth who can sort of continue work even if they are not in the urban hubs of Pakistan, they're in rural areas. They also need to be included in the TVET net.
Right. So what further steps does Pakistan need to take now towards a one-window system? Because at the moment there's still a lot of the improvements that are needed. Naturally, there's still a lot of steps that businesses have to take. And how far are we from making this a purely technology-based sort of electronic system? How far along do you think we are, and how far have we come?
Yes. So I think this can be done relatively quickly. if we have better interprovincial coordination. You have already seen this, that Pakistan's ranking has improved this year because it was easier to do it and there was political will to do it in, for example, taxation. Now we also have to do one single window for access to utilities so that a foreign investor or even the local investor shouldn't have to run around electricity or gas offices or telephone departments to access these utilities. So our special economic zones, our existing industrial processing zones need to facilitate the single window in terms of access to utilities as well. Second single window
Thank you so much, Dr. Waqar Ahmed, for joining us on the program today. So, sir, you heard all the things that he said. Now, one of the key areas that we need to work on naturally and put a lot of resources towards, even this is a requirement for the IMF, is putting our funds towards the social sector, particularly education, because that is the need of the hour in Pakistan right now. What would you like to comment about that?
I must say that there's a dire need of, you see, that restructuring and reorganization of the departments, different departments, because there's need of some people. They are, you see, not really. They are stuck up there and they are rusted. Rather, you see, I must say that they have rusted and they are not willing to do work what they want. They have to do as per their TORs and their job descriptions. So there's need of, you see, reorganization of all the departments, including FBR and other departments like labor department, like you see environment department, because they are co-related to industries. Because if you have to set up industries there, there's need of those officers and those employees of these departments who are proactive and supportive to the entrepreneurs. And this will only happen when there's need of new blood there and professional people who are not, you see, believe in other things, like you see, they are not corrupt by mind and they don't believe in corrupt practices. They should be inducted there and they should be taken, you see, from the market and available in Pakistan, because we have very, you see, capable youth here in Pakistan. They have qualification in different areas. You see, we have economists here, we have financial experts here, we have environment experts here, we have general administrators here. So everywhere we have.
And also the opportunities that are going to be provided with the CPEC corridor. Obviously,
yes, of course.
Our youth need to be prepared and they need to be trained for that. So that's very, very important.
Yeah, that's very important, and because you see that we should be ready and geared up to accept this challenge. You see. And you see, especially in Gwadar area, where we have to provide logistics, you see, support to the CPEC countries, and there's need of there will be need of lot of skilled people there as well. So, to attract the entrepreneurs and especially international investment, it is very essential that one window operation that should be conducted in all area, like utility bills and utility connections you have told about electricity and these. And similarly, the other things like I have mentioned earlier, EOBI, social security, and relevant activities and the activities which are correlated with each other. So there is no need of 5 inspections there, they need of 1 inspection of the industry, and yes, they should go there and check their record and etc. So there should be cooperative. And because if you will not provide this, what will happen? Already you see, because of devaluation of Pak rupee and other factors, the investors there, and especially local investors, they are discouraged.
Right,
and,
exactly. So now we're going to speak about the train incident that happened yesterday. This was the biggest train tragedy to have happened in Pakistan's railway history. 74 people have been killed after a train caught fire yesterday, and it was indeed a very horrifying tragedy, and 40 more people are also injured right now and in hospitals in the area. This is when the Tezgam Express caught fire near Liakatpur in early Thursday morning. An inquiry will determine the cause of the fire. However, government sources are saying that it was due to gas cylinders which were on board the train. And Prime Minister Imran Khan earlier tweeted his sadness over the incident, and so did the President of Pakistan, Dr. Arif Alvi. There are conflicting reports about what exactly happened, but that's going to be decided by the inquiry. In the last 20 years, Railways has had accidents. 11 train accidents have occurred, and they seem to be going up, but most of them were due to derailing. And one was due to a collision, and there was also one due to a missing signal. The tweet by Prime Minister Imran Khan about the train incident was that I'm deeply saddened by the terrible tragedy of the Tezgam train. My condolences go to the victims' families and prayers for the speedy recovery of the injured. He also said, I've ordered an immediate inquiry to be completed on an urgent basis. So naturally, it's very clear from this incident and the past incidences that have taken place in Pakistan with train incidences is that there's a dire need to upgrade the infrastructure of the railways in Pakistan. Most of this is due to the neglect that has been there over many, many years in the railway system. So a lot of upgradation and investment is going to be needed in the railway infrastructure so as to ensure that these incidences don't take place in the future. Now we're going to speak about the stock market and how it performed today. We have online with us Mr. Sajjad Mankani. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Sajjad Mankani.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Sajjad Mankani, thank you for joining us. Can you please tell us about how the markets have done today?
The market remained positive in the major part of the session, and people were quite optimistic on the cement sector performance over the next quarter. So we saw an improvement in cement stocks mainly, and at the same time we saw improvements in fertilizer stocks and some banking stocks also.
Right, and this is irrespective of the situation politically right now in the country. Investors are still showing confidence in the economy, would you say?
Investors are quite confident about the economy, and the market remained positive. I think if the political situation has been more stable, we could have seen a better rise in the market today also.
Right. So the sectors which you were saying have done better are mostly cement. What are the sectors that you would say are at the moment not doing too great that investors should sort of shy away from for the time being?
Investors should focus on banking stocks also and the oil exploration sector. And it is expected that they are going to do better in the coming quarter.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Sajjad Mankani, for giving us an update on the stock markets today. And thank you so much, Imtiaz Baraik Saab, for joining us and giving your feedback on all the issues that we discussed. So there has been an improvement in the stock market again today, which we saw yesterday as well. This is indicative of the fact that regardless of the political situation and the rally in sit-in in Islamabad by JUIF, they're still seeing that the economic situation and all the positive indicators in the current account, as well as the fiscal deficit and the stabilization of the rupee versus the dollar, has given investors a lot more confidence. So that's why they're going ahead and investing in stocks, and the stock market is improving. Thank you so much for joining us today on Newsroom. We'll see you next time. That's bye-bye from me, Sharmeen Ali, and our team.